Have you ever walked into a room, paused for a moment, and thought, "Wait, why did I come in here?" Or maybe you've put your keys down somewhere, only to spend the next 10 minutes retracing your steps in frustration. These little moments of forgetfulness happen to all of us, but they can feel especially concerning as we get older. For many people, the first reaction is to worry. Is this a sign of memory loss or something serious? But here's the good news. Most of the time, it's not your memory failing you. Instead, it's stress playing tricks on your brain. Stress, the invisible weight we carry from deadlines, responsibilities, worries about family, finances, or health, has a direct link to forgetfulness. And understanding that link can change how we approach both memory and mental well-being. This topic matters because we live in a world where stress has become almost constant. From the buzz of smartphones to the demands of daily life, we are bombarded with pressures that our brains were never designed to handle non-stop. And when stress builds up, memory is often one of the first things to feel the impact. Think of your brain like a computer. When too many programs are running at once, everything slows down. You might click on a file, but it takes a few extra seconds to open. Stress acts in the same way. It overloads the system, making it harder to retrieve the information you need at the right time. You haven't lost the memory, it's still stored safely. The challenge is that stress blocks the pathway to pull it out. Science backs this up. When you're stressed, your body releases a hormone called cortisol. Cortisol is helpful in short bursts. It gives you the energy to react quickly in a crisis, like if you need to hit the brakes to avoid an accident. But when cortisol levels stay high for too long, they interfere with the hippocampus, which is the part of the brain responsible for forming and retrieving memories. It's like having a thick fog settle in over your memory banks. You know the information is there, but you just can't see it clearly. Imagine you're preparing for an important presentation. You've rehearsed your points, practiced your delivery, and even memorized the sequence of slides. But on the actual day, your heart races, your palms sweat, and suddenly, you forget one of your key points. It's not because your brain erased the information. It's because stress hijacked your focus and blocked access to it. Later, once you've calmed down, the missing point pops right back into your mind, often with the frustrating thought, "Why couldn't I remember that earlier?" This shows us that forgetfulness under stress is not a flaw in your intelligence or a permanent loss of memory. It's simply your brain reacting to pressure. And that's a powerful perspective shift. Because if stress is causing forgetfulness, then by learning to manage stress, we can also protect and even improve memory. Why does this matter, especially as we age? Because many seniors face added layers of stress, worries about health, financial stability, family responsibilities, or even the loss of independence. Combine those with the natural changes in the brain that come with aging, and memory lapses can feel more alarming than they actually are. The truth is, stress is often the hidden culprit, and when addressed, it can lift a huge weight from the mind. Picture your memory as a bookshelf. Each time you experience something, a new book is placed on the shelf. Normally, when you want to remember something, you simply reach out and grab the right book. But when you're stressed, it's like someone has scattered papers all over the floor in front of the shelf. You can't reach the book easily because there's too much clutter in the way. The book is still there. It hasn't vanished. It's just harder to access. Reducing stress clears the floor, making it easier to grab the memory you need. This link between stress and forgetfulness also explains why people often remember things better in relaxed settings. Think of how memories come flooding back during a quiet walk, a hot shower, or while lying in bed at night. The brain finally has the space to sort through the bookshelf without stress crowding in. So, if you've been worried about forgetfulness, know this: you're not alone, and you're not powerless. Stress may be the hidden factor, but it's one we can learn to manage. Over the course of this journey, we are going to explore practical, uplifting ways to reduce stress and give your memory the clarity it deserves. If stress is the hidden cause of forgetfulness, the first key step to overcoming it is learning how to calm your body and mind in the moment. And one of the simplest, most effective tools we have is breathing, something so basic, yet so powerful. When we are stressed, our breathing becomes shallow and fast. That signals to the brain that we are in danger, which keeps cortisol levels high and makes memory retrieval even harder. By slowing down the breath, we send the opposite message. It's safe now, you can relax. This small physical shift starts a chain reaction. Your heart rate steadies, your muscles release tension, and the fog in your mind begins to lift. A practical way to start is with a technique called 4-4-4 breathing. You inhale through your nose for a slow count of 4, hold that breath for 4, and then exhale gently through your mouth for another 4. Just 3 or 4 rounds of this can reset your stress response. It doesn't take long, and you can do it anywhere, at your desk, in the kitchen, even while waiting in line at the grocery store. Why does this matter for memory? Because when your body is calm, your brain has more resources available for thinking clearly and recalling information. It's like hitting the refresh button on a sluggish computer. The files you were searching for suddenly pop up right where they should be. Imagine you've misplaced your wallet. At first, you panic. Your mind races through worst-case scenarios, and the more stressed you become, the harder it is to think clearly. You look in the same places again and again, convinced it's gone. Then you pause, take a few slow breaths, and let yourself relax. Within moments, the mental clutter starts to clear. Suddenly, you remember. You left it in the pocket of the jacket hanging on the back of the chair. The information was always there. You just needed a calmer mind to reach it. The beauty of learning to calm yourself through breathing is that it empowers you to take control in stressful situations. Instead of feeling like stress owns you, you remind yourself that you have tools to guide your body back to balance. And this sense of control is incredibly encouraging. It builds confidence not just in your memory, but in your overall resilience. Consistency makes the biggest difference. Just like exercise strengthens muscles over time, practicing calming techniques strengthens the brain's ability to bounce back from stress. A few minutes each day, even when you're not overwhelmed, can make it easier to stay clear-headed when challenges arise. Think of it as building a safety net for your memory. The next time you face a stressful situation, whether it's a doctor's appointment, a family gathering, or simply misplacing your glasses, you'll know you have a reliable way to calm your system and give your brain the clarity it needs. And here's a gentle reminder, this isn't about perfection. Nobody can avoid stress completely, and nobody remembers everything flawlessly. What matters is progress, giving yourself moments of calm so your memory has space to breathe, just like you do. As you practice this first step, you may notice other benefits too: better sleep, steadier moods, and even more patience in daily life. Stress management isn't just about memory, it's about overall well-being. And the more you nurture calm, the more your brain thanks you by working more smoothly. So, the first move is clear. Learn to breathe deeply and intentionally when stress starts to rise. It's simple, free, and always available to you. In the next part, we'll build on this foundation and explore a second powerful strategy, something you can weave naturally into your daily routines to protect both your peace of mind and your ability to remember the moments that truly matter. Now that we've talked about calming your body with simple breathing techniques, let's move on to the second key solution: building structure and routines that reduce everyday stress on your memory. Much of the stress that leads to forgetfulness doesn't come from big, dramatic events. Instead, it comes from the dozens of small decisions, distractions, and interruptions we face every day. The human brain, especially as it ages, can only juggle so much information at once. When we overload it with choices and clutter, it becomes harder to remember even simple things like where you left your phone or what time your appointment is. The solution is to take the pressure off your brain by creating systems and habits that do some of the remembering for you. Think of it as giving your brain fewer chances to get overwhelmed. When your life is built in structure, you reduce the constant mini-stress that chips away at your memory. One of the easiest ways to start is by assigning homes for important items. Keys go in a bowl by the door. Glasses sit on the same nightstand each night. Medications are kept in a labeled box on the kitchen counter. By making these small choices automatic, you save your brain from the stress of constant searching. You don't have to think, where did I leave it this time? Because you've already given it a home. Another powerful tool is using reminders and external supports. Calendars, phone alarms, sticky notes, and even digital assistants like Siri or Alexa can serve as external memory aids. Far from being a sign of weakness, these tools are smart ways to ease the load on your brain. After all, you wouldn't expect yourself to do complicated math without a calculator, so why expect your brain to hold every single appointment or to-do list? A woman named Maria, in her mid-60s, often felt frustrated because she would forget simple things: paying bills on time, watering her plants, or calling her granddaughter when she promised to. Each slip left her more stressed, and the stress made her forgetfulness worse. Then she began making small changes. She created a simple morning routine: check the calendar, water the plants, and take her vitamins right after breakfast. She also set gentle phone reminders for bill payments and family calls. Within weeks, she noticed a difference, not just in her memory, but in how calm she felt. By having a routine, she no longer had to constantly wonder, what did I forget today? The routine did the remembering for her. This is the beauty of structure. It creates calm. When you know what comes next, your brain doesn't waste energy worrying. And when your brain is free from that low-level stress, it works better at recalling the things that truly matter, like cherished memories, conversations, and experiences. Some people resist structure because they fear it will feel rigid or boring. But the truth is, routines don't have to be complicated or restrictive. In fact, the simpler they are, the better. A short checklist by the door before leaving the house. A regular bedtime ritual that tells your body it's time to wind down. A set day each week to call a friend or clean out the fridge. These small anchors give stability to your life and, in turn, reduce the stress that clouds memory. Structure is not just about tasks, it's about protecting your mental energy. For example, choosing clothes the night before, prepping meals in advance, or keeping shopping lists ongoing on the fridge all reduce the number of tiny decisions you have to make each day. Fewer decisions equal less stress. Less stress equals clearer memory. Once routines are in place, they quickly become second nature. Think about brushing your teeth. You don't stress over remembering it because it's woven into your daily rhythm. The same can be true for any memory support you create. At first, it may take a little effort, but soon it becomes automatic, freeing your brain to focus on the things you love. So far, we've explored two key moves: calming the body through intentional breathing and reducing daily stress through structure and routines. Both are powerful on their own, but together they create a foundation for a calmer, clearer mind. In the next and final section, we'll take this even further. We'll talk about a third, uplifting strategy, one that doesn't just reduce stress in the moment or ease the load on your memory, but also nurtures long-term resilience, joy, and independence. Because ultimately, this journey isn't just about remembering where you put your keys. It's about remembering who you are, what matters most, and how strong you truly can be. We've talked about calming your body through breathing and giving your mind relief through structure and routines. Now let's explore the third key solution, perhaps the most uplifting of all, which is nurturing connection and meaning in your daily life. This matters more than many people realize. Humans are not built to live in isolation. Our brains thrive on interaction, purpose, and joy. When we feel connected to other people, to hobbies, or to causes that matter to us, stress levels drop and memory becomes sharper. On the other hand, loneliness and disconnection are among the biggest hidden stresses, especially as we get older. They don't just weigh heavily on the heart, they cloud the mind as well. Think of your brain like a garden. Breathing exercises water the soil, while routines pull out the weeds, but it is connection and meaning that make the flowers bloom. When you laugh with a friend, volunteer in your community, or dive into a hobby you love, your brain lights up. Stress hormones lower, while feel-good chemicals like dopamine and oxytocin rise. These chemicals don't just lift your mood, they also strengthen memory pathways, making it easier to recall both everyday details and cherished experiences. Imagine two neighbors, John and Sam. John spends most of his time alone, worrying about bills and health issues. His days feel repetitive, and he often forgets appointments or where he placed his glasses. Sam, on the other hand, makes it a point to walk with a friend 3 times a week, play his guitar in the evenings, and call his daughter every Sunday. Even though Sam faces many of the same challenges as John, his memory slips are less frequent. The difference lies in the way connection lowers his stress, boosts his mood, and keeps his mind engaged. The lesson here is clear. Connection and joy are not luxuries. They are medicine for the brain. And the best part is, you don't have to take on anything overwhelming to reap the benefits. You can start small, perhaps by scheduling a weekly call with an old friend, joining a local group, or even just greeting neighbors more often. If mobility makes this difficult, technology can be a lifeline. Video calls, online clubs, or even a quick text exchange can spark that sense of belonging. Meaning can also come from personal passions. Gardening, painting, reading, cooking, or caring for pets can all reduce stress and shift your brain's focus towards something rewarding rather than worrying. These activities act like mental exercise, strengthening your memory while soothing your emotions. And if you invite others into these routines, cooking a meal with family, walking with a neighbor, or practicing relaxation together, you multiply the benefits. You not only reduce stress and strengthen memory, but you also build relationships along the way. Many people ask whether it is too late to make a difference if forgetfulness has already been a problem for years. The answer is no. The brain is incredibly adaptable, a quality scientists call neuroplasticity. It can form new pathways and connections at any age. Every time you take a slow breath, every time you stick to a simple routine, And every time you share laughter or a story with someone you love, you are proving that it is never too late to nurture resilience and growth. Perhaps the most important thing this final solution gives back is hope. Stress can make us feel powerless, as if our memory is slipping beyond our control. But each small step, breathing intentionally, sticking to routines, and nurturing connection, becomes a way of reclaiming that control. These practices restore confidence, independence, and strength. When you look at the bigger picture, stress and forgetfulness may seem deeply connected, but they don't have to define your life. Calming the body, creating structure, and nurturing connection form a cycle of resilience. Calm reduces stress, structure clears space for memory, and connection brings joy that reinforces both. The more you practice these, the stronger the cycle becomes. So, when you forget why you walked into a room, instead of scolding yourself, smile and take a breath. Trust your routines to guide you, and reach out to someone you love when you need encouragement. Your memory is not broken. You are not broken. You are resilient, capable, and more than your stress. That is the hidden link between stress and forgetfulness. It is not a story of decline, but a journey towards strength, clarity, and hope.